The big 320. Now before I begin, the correct speech title will be the big 30. It stands for 30. Now good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and invited guests.
Good evening.
Evening.
Now my name is Alan Ang and I was born around this time, last week, 30 years ago. Now some of you might know that I just celebrated 30 years old, and age has always been a taboo topic among women. And for men, recent years, they are sensitive to age as well. When you start asking them, Ching, how old are you right now? And he said, I stopped counting when I was 25. And they asked Philip, how old are you, Philip? Philip like, I was 18 like 10 years ago. Everyone is so sensitive to age. Let me tell you this, I am proud to say that I'm 30 years old. The reason is this. When I was 16 years old, when I left Syria to go for my higher education, it was in Prime College in Miri. I couldn't wait to hit 18 years old. Why? Because it's a legal age to drive. You have a legal admission for club hopping, and you have legal access to liquid courage. So to me, I couldn't wait to hit 18. When I got to 18 years old, I couldn't wait to hit my 20s because I just want to graduate fast, to start working, to get married and live happily ever after. But when I was at 23, I was shocked. I am 23 already. And I was in my mid-life crisis, I didn't know what to do. And I stopped counting my birthday ever since. Until recently, I celebrated 30 years old and people remind me, hey Alan, you're 30 years old right now. What have you achieved and what have you done? And looking back, I think there are a lot of facts that people might not know about me. And that's the reason why I wanted to share with all of you today 3 things that people think they know about Alan, but they do not really know about. So when you go out from this speech after tonight, you will be able to tell people, I'm up 3 and you're down 0 because I know 3 facts about Alan that you didn't know.
Oh.
Now the first fact, Alan was a crybaby. As much as I smile right now and I laugh right now and I do not seem to get emotional, I was a crying baby. And I'll tell you this, when I was 4 years old in kindergarten school, we have this event where you need to dress up, you need to play a costume role. I was being assigned to be a policeman. So there I was, mini Alan at the backstage, looking cute, of course, looking cute, with my mini policeman suit, and I was waiting eagerly for my turn to go on the stage. All I need to do was just to go on the stage, make 1 round, and come back. Easy. And all of a sudden, my friend standing in front of me turned back and said, hey! And then he reached out to me. Probably I was too short, he punched me on my face. And tears started flowing down. And I couldn't stop, like, I'm gonna do this, I can do this. Everyone was worried. My teachers came, my mother came, it was like, what happened to you? I'm like, no, it was just an accident, but I couldn't stop sobbing. And it turned out, a sobbing policeman marching on the stage throughout, and that was history. Because everyone starts reminding me, and then do you remember? During like 20 years ago, there was this crying policeman on the stage. I was like, no, that's not it. But it didn't stop there, it extended to primary school, to secondary school. Because I was raised in a very strict family, my mom is very particular about my results. I remember one time in my primary school, I got 90 points. My classmates were cheering. My teacher was like celebrating and I was sitting down there, crying. I'm like, why? I scored 95 the last time. And my mom wouldn't be happy with this. So I started crying. I was crying all the way up to secondary school and even up to universities. And after 23, I stopped crying. After 23, I stopped crying. I said, I'm going to be a man, I'm not going to cry. Until eventually I joined Toastmasters. And I said, Alan, to give the best speech, be emotional. You know, you need to deliver from your heart, speak from your heart. Because they listen to their heart as well. I'm like, okay, let's be emotional. And for your record, for the past 2 years, I've cried 5 times. The only time not relating to Toastmasters was when I was holding my newborn Angela in my hands. The other 4 times, It was all because of Toastmasters. Now that's one thing about Alan. The second thing about Alan is, you also see Alan as, he's good in his love life. It hasn't been that smooth all this while. When I was younger, my top wish list was I wanted someone to send me a love note. Any girl. I was praying hard, please, someone please come to me and say, you know what, I admire you for so long. It never happened. It never did, even until I got married. Of course, I got married. Of course, you wouldn't expect anything. But before that, what was so particular about this, if you remember during your childhood, you have this diary, and every end of semester you pass around biography to write. Yeah. And I will start writing name, Alan, gender, male, of course, just to make sure that I remember Alan, date of birth, and then on a small line I will write someone I like, and I'll put the name of the girl. And after the name of the girl, I'll put a bracket. Shh, please keep this a secret. And you know that the book is going to go all around. But the moment you're doing that is because you're trying to get attention of the lady so that she will eventually come to you. And I did that the first year in my secondary school, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, and the fifth year. By the time I graduate, no one ever came to me. I wasn't that smooth in my life. Now that's fact number 2. Fact number 3, people say, Alan, you're so positive and you're so motivating. But what happened? It was because a year in 2008, there was one day where I was exercising and I passed out, blacked out totally, lack of oxygen. And my parents were crying for me, and I was like, oh yeah, but I couldn't do anything. That night, I passed out for about 10 minutes. When I wake up, my mom was crying, my dad was like, are you okay? I'm like, is this heaven? It's not, my parents were there, it's not heaven. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I was worried that if I were to close my eyes, I would never open my eyes anymore. I was sitting, what can I do? What can I do? And that before that point of my time, I have always been criticizing about life, and I've always been pessimistic, and I've always been demotivating. And from that moment, I told myself, I will try my best to live every day of my life a cheerful person, and I'll motivate, and I'll try to be positive to every person that I can see. And that's the reason why I ended up to be a more positive energy person, and that's the reason why my crutch word has always been now. Because that day onwards, I learned not to look so far in the future, because when it comes, you need to worry about it later on. You need to worry about present. So ladies and gentlemen, 3 things that I shared with you about 3 facts about myself. Number 1, that I was a crybaby. And number 2, I wasn't that smooth in love life. And number 3, I wasn't really motivating before 23 years old. Now, Steve Jobs once says that in his famous Stanford University speech that you can only connect dots in life, but the only way to connect the dots is looking backwards, not looking forward. And now hitting the big 3-0, looking backwards, I might have done a lot of silly, childish things, but I'm appreciating what I have done and what made me silly for the past 30 years, because it made me who I am today. So here am I today, reintroducing myself to all of you. My name is Alan, and I'm proud to say that I'm 30 years old and I'm still counting. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Advanced Communicator Bronze, Advanced Leader Bronze, Alan Ang, for the astonishing speech. Now I know you're an old man with a young heart.